Hey everybody, welcome back. If you're new here, hi, I'm Mercury, and today I am really nervous at the moment. I'm doing something I have never done before. I'm pleading not guilty to a parking ticket. I don't get parking tickets very often. I think in the last 8 years, I've only gotten one parking ticket. So like this is not something I'm used to, and like having to go in front of a judge is like really intimidating. So I'm pretty nervous. It is virtual, so I get to do it in the comfort of my own home, so I have that going at least. But I'm a little I'm very nervous about this. So I guess, you know, I have a little bit of time right now. You know, I have my nice shirt. This sweatshirt is not going to be worn during the proceedings. I have a little blazer, you know, so I look all, you know, appropriate for court. But yeah, so here's what happened. Like I parked my car one day, and the only signs that are posted, there's a sign that says no parking here to corner. And there was one car parked in front of that sign, and I was the next car. So I'm like well clear of like the sign for here to corner. There's also a sign that says like residential parking, and I have a residential parking permit. So no other signs, no other signs. I took pictures and I took video of the area and where my car was parked, and I just really don't know why I was issued a ticket in the first place. I legitimately believe this was a legal parking spot that I was in. So I pled not guilty. I submitted all of my photos and documents online, and they said you have to do a virtual court date. And now here I am an hour before my virtual court time, and I am so nervous because I'm just intimidated by the process. And I was doing like Google searches for like trying to understand what to expect. And like the judge emailed out the opening statements ahead of time, so you had to like watch a video. And I was hoping that would sort of like let me know what to expect. And it's like in some ways it does, but in the ways that would be helpful to me, it doesn't. You know, it was like sort of like the order of the cases she'll call, and you know, like your rights, and like if you want to have counsel and things like that. But it doesn't sort of explain like once you're called what that process is, what to expect, what they're going to ask, what, you know, do they already have all the photos that I sent them, or am I going to have to like do a screen share, or like what if my technology like glitches out on me, and like this is the stuff that like my brain is doing. So there's also like no eating or drinking during the time, and I'm like, I'm very thirsty, so it's like I don't want to drink a whole big thing of water right now, and then they call me and then I'm like have to use the restroom. This is what happens when I get anxious. This is the overthinking and the little window into my head of, you know, when I talk about having anxiety. These are the things that happens. So thank you everyone for letting me vent this to you beforehand, because it's helping me to talk it out and to kind of push through all of that. So I appreciate that you're all there and listening to my anxiety ramblings for a few moments. So I'm gonna go in my little blazer, get ready for this. I'll come back afterward and I'll let everyone know how it turned out and what this experience was like, and if I got myself all anxious for nothing, or anxiety is rough. Oh my gosh, anxiety is rough. I'll be back. I'll let you all know how it goes. Wish me luck. I am back. I'm still a little revved up because I'm like, I was so nervous going before the judge. It's so intimidating. Like when there's somebody you know has like authority over you, but I'm feeling that relief right now. I'm feeling that burden being lifted. And good news, everybody, the judge sided with me and found me not guilty. So all is well on that front. But let me talk about the process a little bit, because the process actually helped me, the process actually helped me feel a little bit more comfortable. Also, I want to put out there, I am not a lawyer. This is not legal advice whatsoever. I know nothing about the courts. This is just my experience from what I just went through. So like, I wanted to be there on time and ready to go. So I logged in like 15 minutes early, and this was done like all virtually. So I logged in 15 minutes early, and you go into like the Zoom room with like all of the screens, right? And the judge has a screen, and like the court has a screen, and then everyone else's boxes, that's just other people who are in there for various parking and traffic violations, because it's traffic court. So you stay on mute, you have your video off until they call you. But before they call you, they will pull you into a breakout room to talk to the prosecutor, and they sort of like go through, you know, if you're going to plead not guilty, if you're going to plead guilty or guilty with explanation, and then, you know, like what you can do from there. Before I got pulled into the sort of breakout room with the prosecutor, I got to listen to a lot of the people who were there before me go. And like, I could tell they had already talked to somebody, because a lot of them were like doing plea deals or like getting reduction in fines and things like that. And they just sort of like were getting confirmation. But then the people who were pleading not guilty, like, would actually go on trial. Like, you have to like raise your right hand and, you know, swear to tell the whole truth and all that stuff, right? And, you know, you then get to explain to the judge what happened. So basically, I got to watch a whole bunch of people go through this process. And by watching them go through this, it started alleviating some of my anxiety, because I started to understand what to expect. And I think that's what was making me so nervous, was I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know, you know, what would happen. I didn't know, you know, what like I said before, like, you know, I submitted photos and things like that. Like, do I have to screen share and re-show them, or do they have them on record? Like, I didn't understand. They have them on record. I didn't have to do any screen sharing or anything like that. That did not have to happen. I can only imagine, like, oh my gosh, if you had to screen share, like the things that, like, you know, people have on computers sometimes. Like, I understand why they don't do that. That makes a lot of sense, right? So yeah, I kind of went through the process. After I spoke to the prosecutor, I maintained that I was pleading not guilty. And he was like, okay, I'll put you in front of the judge. And they took me from the breakout room and they put me back in that main room. And then I was the next one right after that the judge called. So it was like a very fast and smooth process. And, you know, the judge sort of gave me all of like the rights that I have, like, in her courtroom, and, you know, made sure that I understood what the ticket was for and so on and so forth. And I like affirmed that, yes, I did understand that, and I understood all my rights. And I explained my perspective of what occurred. I let her know I did submit photo and video of where I was parked at that time. And she said, I think the ticket was improperly written. It seems that they used the wrong code for what they may have been trying to write the ticket for, but there's no way to know that. So she agreed with me and said not guilty. So I pride myself on like doing the right thing, right? Like, I appreciate rules. They give structure. I appreciate structure. So I tend to be a rule follower. I might be a boundary pusher, but I'm a rule follower. So it like, I really, really try to abide by rules, including parking rules. And like I said, I haven't had a parking ticket in at least 8 years, or somewhere in that ballpark. And this was so out of the normal for me that it just, Made me so nervous. I was so nervous, my friends. It was, whew, but it's over, it's done, and I did it. I did it. I did it. I proved my case. I proved that I parked in a legal, like the signage did not indicate what the parking ticket said it accused me of, and the judge agreed with me. So I did it. I did it. I proved my case successfully. And it is such a relief because this has also been looming for a while. The wheels of justice move slowly, as they say. I got this ticket in October. It's now the end of January. Yeah, so this has been looming for a while, and just like my nerves about like having to go through this process have been just building slowly and slowly, progressively over the past, 3 months. And like there are days that like I just wouldn't think about it. I'd put it out of my mind. But then like as we got closer, I think it was like just around New Year's or Christmas, I got like a thing in the mail, like a notice in the mail reminding me of like the court date. And I hung it on my refrigerator. So ever since then, it's just been staring me in the face every single day. So it started to become real that I had to kind of go through this process. And it was definitely a learning experience. Definitely learned a lot about how the court works. So, it didn't take too long either. I logged in 15 minutes early. I finished by a half hour after I was supposed to be logged in, so I was in there for 45 minutes total. That's not terrible. That's not terrible in the grand scheme of things. And it was virtual, so I got to do it from the comfort of my home. Did it. I did it. I knew I was parked okay. So that was, that's my evening. Now that my nerves are settling down, I feel like I can eat again. I couldn't really eat lunch today. My appetite was totally suppressed because of this. So now I'm gonna go eat some dinner and try to unwind after this buildup of adrenaline in my body right now. So I'm gonna go do that. And I hope everybody has a good night. Stay safe, stay warm. We're getting through the winter, it's almost done. And with that, I'm done for the night. I'll see you all real soon. And until then, stay inspired by everyone. Take care.